Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Let's talk about breakfast. So, we had an interesting conversation with a couple of our kids. A couple of the 8 kids. Sometimes we call them wolves. My daughter's fascinated. My 12-year-old daughter is fascinated by the fact that I don't eat breakfast. And
because she says it's the most important meal of the day.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So, we got up this morning and had to break down camp. There's doing trips like this is not easy. It's hard work. But it's sure a lot easier that I didn't have to sit and make breakfast. Now, Kim, what'd you have? You had that purely Elizabeth granola. You had a few bites of that.
Yeah, it's grain-free granola. It's delicious. It's just a bunch of seeds and coconut flakes. And
I don't know if y'all have noticed or not, but Kim doesn't have any body fat to burn, and I do. So, for her body type, she was hungry this morning, so she ate. But she ate good food. For me, I skip it, because I can go until, what is it right now, 9 something? I can usually make it till about 11 before I'm really
hungry,
starting to suffer. But my daughter was fascinated by this whole thing. Well, Dad, isn't breakfast the most important meal of the day? And I said, my answer to that was no. I think that's a lie that's been perpetuated by the food industry that wants you to buy more Bisquick and Fruit Loops. But then Ashley, your daughter, who's 18, pipes in. She goes, well, breakfast isn't about what time you eat. It's about breaking your fast. So
she said it is the most important meal of the day, but It doesn't mean you eat it when you first wake up.
Right. So breaking your fast, you break it with proteins and fats versus carbohydrates. Which brings me to another point. So I had a patient sign up with us this week for neuropathy. So we're going to start taking care of her nerve problem. But 80% of what we're going to do comes from what she puts in her mouth. So I've got to teach her these ways. I got to cut over to the other side of the river. No, I don't. I can hug this side. It may not look like I know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. So she says it doesn't matter. So proteins and fats, and then this patient signs up, and her breakfast, which she's like, I don't know what to eat for breakfast. And it's always so confusing and hard. And I said, then why are you eating breakfast? Like, we have it in our heads that we have to eat breakfast. No, you don't. You can get away without having a meal first thing in the morning, and it makes life a whole lot simpler.
Unless you're hungry, though.
Unless you're hungry, then eat something.
But literally, I ate like a handful of grain-free granola and 5 little pieces of dried like chicken jerky.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
And a glass of water.
Protein, fat. Well, I don't know how much fat you had this morning, but I've literally had nothing. Oh, here's the other point I was going to make. This patient, she was buying her protein drinks at Sam's Club, and she looked them up, and I looked at the label online, and it was just absolute garbage. I mean, yes, it was high in protein, but it was milk protein. It had a ton of chemicals in it. That dude just landed a fish. This place is awesome. So, that's my rant for the morning.
So, why don't you summarize? Maybe you lost some people along the way.
I probably did. I'm trying to drive a boat and
give a lesson
at the same time. So, you don't have to eat breakfast. Well, let me rephrase that. You don't have to eat first thing in the morning. Your breakfast can be at noon. Focus on proteins and fats. Get rid of the sugars and carbs.
Which would mean get rid of what? Most people eat piece of toast, which, by the way, bread instantly turns into sugar as soon as it hits your body inside.
Don't eat grains. Eat nuts, eat eggs, eat meat, eat veggies. There's nothing wrong with having broccoli for breakfast.
Brussels sprouts are better for breakfast.
Yeah, they are. We'll do a Brussels sprout hash for you. Got a little rapid going on here.
It's kind of fun. It's like I'm on a roller coaster. Especially when you're sitting where I am.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Okay, that's my rant.
I'll give you guys a tour of the river.